I have been reading Stacey Abrams' Our Time Is Now. Great book. She's a fantastic leader. One of my favorite public leaders in America today. This is Stacey Abrams. She's a former candidate for governor of Georgia who suffered voter suppression among her voters, which is why she is not the governor today, although she should be. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and she served 11 years in the Georgia House of Representatives, 7 as minority leader, and became the 2018 Democratic nominee for governor of Georgia, where she won more votes than any other Democrat in the state's history. And she has launched multiple organizations devoted to voting rights and training and hiring young people of color and tackling social issues at the state, national, and international levels. I just want to read a passage from this book because I believe it's timely. It's timely for the current national conversation. Okay. This passage is titled, "Suppression Starts with Who Belongs Here." Our nation's core narrative can be summed up in the disconnect between the Constitution's pledge of equality and the rampant disregard for that ambition that has plagued the United States of America ever since. Though the Founding Fathers gave a nod to universal equality in the Declaration of Independence, they abandoned the aspiration by the time they penned the country's organizing documents. Let me be clear here. The codification of racism and disenfranchisement is a feature of our lawmaking, not an oversight. And the original sin of the U.S. Constitution began by identifying blacks in America as 3/5 human, counting black bodies as property and their souls as non-existent. Voting rights are the most basic tenet of our democracy, and the bare minimum one should expect from the government. Our presidents can send our neighbors to war. Local elected officials decide the mundane questions of trash pickup and the weightier issues of hospital closures. At every level of our lives in this republic, we choose men and women to speak for us, yes, but also to determine the direction of our daily lives. And all it takes is a teacher strike or a government shutdown to remind us how vital elections can be to the daily rhythms of life. Over the course of our history, the right to vote had to be purchased by blood and protest in each generation. The Revolutionary War included enslaved patriots and Native Americans who would be denied citizenship once the nation became official. The savagery of the Civil War had no clearer argument than whether blacks were property or human beings capable of self-governance. Even the suffrage movement, tangled with complex issues of gender and race, where white women would benefit from obtaining suffrage while working to deny the same to the black woman who helped power the movement. But the right to vote is not simply a request for voice in the conduct of the affairs of state. No, people have sacrificed their lives in pursuit of the most profound currency of citizenship, power. Because, let's be honest, that is the core of this fight. Power is the right to be seen, the right to be heard, the right to direct the course of history and benefit from the future. In the United States, democracy makes politics one of the key levers to exercising power. Simply put, the struggle for dominion over our nation's future and who will participate is a battle royal for America's power. Full stop. That's a passage, a rousing passage, an enlightening passage from Stacey Abrams' Our Time Is Now. Love this book. And I'll be back again in another video segment for another passage reading. See you shortly.